Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. And in this video I'm going to be talking about this album. I'm going to compare it. Face Value by Phil Collins. What's been happening recently? Something very, very impressive. Atlantic Records started a collaboration with Analogue Productions so they can choose about 75, perhaps even more albums to re-release on 45 RPM. Kassum handpicked the titles himself, which is very exciting, from the Atlantic Records catalog. And they are all done from the original master tapes on 45 RPM. Now, this pressing is done by Chris Bellman at Bernie Grundman Mastering. Those are very big names. But I'm going to compare it to something I have not per se seen before, because this is an original European pressing. And a lot of people, they talk about how does it sound compared to a UK or US. It's a little bit more complex with this album. This was recorded at Townhouse, produced by Phil Collins. And what I have here is the first European press. It says Germany and France on the back, German prints on the cover. The vinyl says it's printed by at Alsdorf. But the stamper reads Townhouse. So this should be the mastering by Townhouse, where it was also recorded. Now, the label is a little bit different from the UK or US ones. It has a Dutch label. And I'm not sure if you can see it on the video, but here it says Townhouse. And that is important in this matter. Because this is just an incredible sounding album. A beautiful pressing. I bought this for about $8 in Fiji Plus, perhaps even near mint condition. I always found it tough to give it a good rating. You find this. This is not a rare album. And you can find a Townhouse pressing also very easily. Below $10, and it sounds amazing. This is a very complex album. The placing of the instruments is, especially on this record, very, very important. It's as if the stories of these songs involve the instruments and the sounds coming somewhere, not only stereo-wise but also depth-wise, and that makes it's incredible to listen to. It's a revolutionary pop album, and I really, really enjoy it. I've been listening to it a couple of times since I bought it. Complex album. So, by the way, just to compare a bit of the release. So what does it compare to this two vinyl beautiful packaging, by the way. Very thick cardboard. The cover has a higher resolution than the original. I mean, I can see more details in the face of Phil Collins, as if that's a nod to what the music does or should do. Beautiful packaging, beautiful release. But you pay about $70, $80 to get it, at least here in Europe. Is that worth the difference? Now, this is what I noticed. The other is 33 RPM, this is 45 RPM. There is not the amount of difference between this and the Townhouse pressing as I imagined. There's a tad more wider stereo image. There's a bit more detail in the voice of Phil Collins. Also, it sounds, his voice, not the instruments, his voice sounds a little bit cooler, as far as that says anything to anyone. I have the sense that perhaps it's a little bit of the aging of the tapes, perhaps it's choices that were made. These are minor differences. But there is a slight difference in the experience of the voice. Perhaps it's called because you hear more detail, and I'm just used to the original in that regard. The difference is overall, what I've been describing, it's not that big. I did notice some echoes and some backing vocals I did not notice on the other one. I'm sure they are. I'm sure it's the matter of detail which makes a difference. So there is a difference. But is that a difference from $8 to $80? And what will I play more often? To be quite frank, this is brilliant mastering. Beautiful packaging. Beautiful detail on the voice. Wider stereo image. Yet, I might even play this $8 pressing more often. Yeah. I just prefer the way his voice sounds here. Perhaps it's getting accustomed to it, yet it's not an album I've been listening to so often. It's relatively new to me. Is this worth the upgrade? Well, suit yourself. There is a difference. But there are audiophile upgrades which are more worthwhile. So that is my review. I'm very curious what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? But please, when you disagree, try to check out if you have a European Townhouse pressing, because that's my source of reference. And if you don't have that, go on, try and find one, because you'll have a blast. So see you in my next video. Bye.